Kendall Milton, let me ask you about him. I calculated it, and I don't know if I'm that good at math, but 350 rushing yards in the last 3 games. What have you seen from him in the last few weeks that have allowed him to come on so heavy?
Yeah, I mean, seeing him fully healthy, I feel like throughout his career, he's been battling a lot of different injuries. And it's awesome to see him, come back, be fully healthy, and just run like he's been running. He runs hard, he runs aggressive, he doesn't go down on first contact, he breaks through arm tackles. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it makes my job a lot easier.
I don't think you guys have played a game this season, and you might be able to correct me here, without either having Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey play in at least one game. But credit to you because you spread the ball out so well. The receivers on this team, the depth, can you talk about it with me? Can you tell me a little bit about how special that is?
Yeah, I mean, to have the depth where, we've got, we had Ladd down, Rob down, Brock down. For those other guys that step up, and step up into, like, a lot of production was missing, So for them to come out, execute like that, and, we've kind of shown it all season, obviously, not having all 3, but that hasn't happened yet. But for them to step up, that's huge for us.
One guy who I think has done really well in the last couple of weeks is Dylan Bell. How have you seen him grow this season?
Yeah, like I've always said, you never know which game a guy's going to blow up, One game it might be Roseman, one game it might be Ladd, one game it might be Dylan. But we've seen him the past 2 weeks, really be able to step up for us and fill in some of those spots that are out.
May I ask you to put something in perspective for me? You haven't lost against Georgia Tech in your college career. You now have 29 straight wins. That's an SEC record. Congratulations on that. And 3 straight seasons where you guys have not lost a game in the regular season.
That's crazy. Obviously, I didn't play for the first 2 seasons in that, but to be able to contribute to that and continue that is something really cool.
Is it hard?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of hard work that goes into all this, and the prep begins the day after the national championship, We've been going at it since, I guess that was January 11th, maybe, would be the day, and it's nonstop. So, super proud of the guys. I know how hard we work, and, all the guys deserve to celebrate that.
Congrats.
Thank you.
A career night for you in carries, in yards, touchdowns. How did it feel out there?
It felt amazing, but to be honest, it seemed like I would hit the hole, be patient, the line, they just opened it up, and all I had to do was really do my job, just go through my run read. So, to be honest, this night, you got to go credit to the O-line.
Listen, I don't know if I'm really that good with math, but in the last 3 weeks, 350 yards from you rushing.
Okay. Just to be honest, that just shows the work that we put in practice. We have Bloody Tuesdays, Wicked Wednesdays. Those are 2 days that it's really emphasized to run the ball, and it's a real competition between the O-line and the D-line. And I feel like, they kind of set the tempo for the game in those periods and on those days. So I feel like this week in practice, they kind of took this week seriously, knowing that it was a real rivalry week. And, they handled business. And I'm glad that it carried all the way over to Saturday night.
Can you put something in perspective for me? 29 straight wins. That's an SEC record. 3 straight seasons where you guys have gone undefeated in the regular season.
Yes,
I can go on and on and on and on.
It's crazy to be honest, because I remember I was a little kid in California, just watching college football, not even dreaming that I would be on a stage like this, but to be part of a dynasty like this, part of a team that, just really our connection is really the reason why we are where we are. We love each other as a team. I could tell you about walk-ons. I could tell you about people that, the media might not even know their name. That just shows how connected we are because we take it seriously to really be a family and a brotherhood. A lot of people, they call themselves a family and a brotherhood, but I feel like when it comes to our team, it really shows because in times when we're challenged by the other team, there's never a time when we panic. We're always composed. Somebody makes a mistake, everybody's around them. Hey, bro, you good. Don't worry about it. We got you. Defense gives us something. Offense, we tell them right away, we got you. We finna get it back, and we know y'all gonna handle business when it's y'all time. So I feel like we really fuel each other, and we're a really connected team.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm not sure if people know, but Kendall was my host when I first came here, and so me and him, or him and I, excuse me, have been really, really cool for a long time, and I understand and I get, sometimes you may be down, sometimes you may not have your best game, and it seems like the world is against you, so to be there for a brother, to be there for a friend to help uplift him, to help him understand that you may be down now, but at some point you'll be up and you'll be helping us in ways that we could have never imagined, so I think that was the biggest thing, is just making sure that he never lost confidence in himself because I knew who he was from the beginning.
One more question.
262 yards on the ground for your running backs today. I know you take a lot of pride in that. What was tonight like for you? I ask you because you played in a lot of these Georgia Tech games, and it seemed a little different tonight. This team seems different. This program seems different. Even the crowd, different.
So I think it was great for us just because I think, honestly, I think there was definitely some hate there, and I think that we wanted to take the rivalry personal as far as the offensive line. We wanted to be as physical as we possibly could with all due respect to them because they're a great group. And we felt like ultimately the game would come down to the line of scrimmage. So we felt like if we can try and control as much as we can up front, that ultimately things will go our way. God willing, he allowed it to work that way. And I think ultimately the mindset was just trying to be as best we could for Coach Bobo and other guys who are alumni here before us.
This probably won't settle in for a while, but 29 straight wins, an SEC record, 3 straight seasons where you guys have gone undefeated in the regular season. What does it take to be able to play at that level and win that much?
That's a tricky question. We try as much as we can not to think about the past because the past is the past. You can't take any of those wins, including the ones tonight, into next week, week after that, however it goes. So I think the biggest thing is just taking it week by week, going in and understanding that we all have flaws, we all have things that we can work on, and getting better every week is essential to what we're trying to do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's up, Bailey? All is well in the SEC. You got Georgia facing off against Alabama next weekend here in Atlanta. The teacher and the student, I can't wait to see it. But you know what? It's not all well with Ladd McConkey. I say that because I don't expect him to play tonight. I didn't see him warming up with his team when the wide receivers were out on the field. This is what I know. He tweaked his ankle against Ole Miss. That week leading up to the Tennessee game, he didn't practice, so he didn't play against the Vols. This week, from my understanding, he didn't practice much again leading up to the game against Georgia Tech. Kirby Smart told us he's still recovering.
It bothered him a little bit Saturday, but nothing any more severe than that. I mean, we've done MRI since the game and doing even more testing, but feel good that he's going to be able to return. It's not, I guess, somebody said right before I came in here, Claude said there's questions about tightrope surgery. That's not the case at all. I don't know where that's coming from.
Now, I did see him walking out on the field as the team arrived. He wasn't limping. He seemed fine. But again, I don't expect to play tonight. Some more injuries to talk about. Ra Thomas, he injured himself against the Vols last week as well. Foot sprain for him. A bone bruise on his foot is what Kirby calls it. I did not see him practicing with the team. I don't expect him to play tonight. Tate Ratledge, who injured himself against the Vols in Tennessee last weekend. He banged his knees. Much better, Kirby said earlier this week. He's moving, running around, but he didn't take reps at the beginning of the week. Lastly, Warren Brinson, the defensive lineman, he has a calf strain. He did take reps on Tuesday. He was rehabbing throughout the week. And we've got to talk about Brock Bowers. I was told to keep my eye on him tonight. This is the deal with him really quickly, if you'll let me explain. Throughout the week, Kirby told us he really doesn't practice much, light work. So on weekends when he's playing, he's a full go. He's sore. That's why we saw him limping off the field against the Vols last weekend when they came out of halftime. You know, he told me he's sore. That's to be expected after tightrope surgery less than a month ago, or just over a month ago, I should say. Guys? Yeah, I think it is a myth, Bailey. Listen, this one hasn't even kicked yet. 7:44, so they got us. They said 7:30, but really is 7:44. Shout out to whoever made this a night game as well. That hasn't happened since 2010 in 13 years. But let's get back to those familiar faces we'll see tonight. Dominique Blaylock, the wide receiver, he transferred from Georgia to Georgia Tech, just scored a touchdown last week for the Yellow Jackets. Busner Faulkner, the guy you just mentioned, Bailey, he's now on Brent Key's staff as his offensive coordinator, but he was on Kirby's staff as early as last season. And listen, he's helped quarterback Haynes King quite a bit. Coach Smart was asked if he was worried about Faulkner's knowledge of Georgia's offense earlier this week.
There's this thing called tape, and they watch it, and they see what you do. And there's no secrets. Like, there's no secrets out there. They're not going to go out there and trick them and say, man, Buster knows when that double reverse pass throwback to Brock Bowers is coming. I mean, he doesn't know when that's coming. And I think you waste a lot of time and energy thinking about that. I think it's great for you guys to write about. Sorry I didn't give you more juice on it.
We get no juice. Never do we get any juice from Kirby. And lastly, let's talk about Kevin Sherr really quickly, the defensive coordinator here at Georgia Tech. He was on Georgia's staff from 2014 through 2017. He was the last member of Coach Rick's staff to stay on Kirby's staff.